So they and all those with them went down alive into the pit. The earth closed over them, and they perished from among the assembly. You know, last night I had the privilege of receiving a particular dream, and you know, in this dream I saw people going to hell. Right, and dream kind of shook me up, if I'm being completely honest. I remember just imagine seeing an elevator in a building, right? And this elevator would carry people to hell if they weren't saved, right? And I remember seeing this elevator, and you know, like people went on the elevator that weren't saved, and like you just hear screaming and just like wailing, and you know, like utter fright and trepidation. And I remember like when the elevator came up on our floor, because at this point I was on the floor, like everybody was like gathered, assembled, you know, people were there, and you know, they were figuring out like what was happening. And like when the elevator came up on this floor, like when you look on even like the bottom area of the elevator, like it was disintegrated, like the metal was melted, you know, like it was still hot, right? And at this point people still weren't like wary of what was happening, and at this point I figured that like, nah man, something's definitely off. And I remember, so like somebody, like you weren't paying any attention at the point, but like the elevator was like, it was damaged, like the bottom area of it was like, it melted out, like lava did reach it, or you know, lake of fire in this case. And as the people weren't paying it in mind, and I remember somebody ordered some pizza, and like the pizza man came to like deliver the pizza, and the pizza man wasn't saved. And like in that moment, the pizza man just went straight to hell. I like could literally hear him screaming and wailing. You know, everybody was like, what? Like, hell is real, it's actually real. I remember in that moment I was using that opportunity to basically tell people, listen, hell is indeed real. Like, you know, I know it might seem as if we're here on earth and those things are just a figment of our imagination, but is it 100% real? I remember there's a particular moment where I went on the elevator, and it's like at this point people already knew that I was a Christian, right? And everybody just came rushing in the elevator at the same time when I came in there, because they wanted to go places, and you know, they were just afraid that, you know, they're gonna get sent to hell. Everybody's rushing on the elevator. I remember like a bag of people were rushing, and they kind of pushed me like against the wall of the elevator, and like it was burning, like it was hot. Cause I even remember like it's almost as if I could feel the heat, you know, cause it was extremely hot. And it's like, and I quickly came out of the elevator and thing, and people just came out shortly after. But it seemed as if the elevator, like, you couldn't cheat the process. Like the elevator wasn't gonna change floors, because it was able to know that these people weren't saved, and they were basically just trying to, you know, screech their way away from hell. And we know that we can't do that. You know, we can't screech ourselves away from God's judgment, right? And it was just truly something, right? It was truly something, you know, because even here on earth, you know, we cherish our lives so much here on earth, to the point where, you know, we're afraid that other people are going to think about us when it comes on to actually own up for Christ and being sold out for Christ. And you think to yourself that for us to be gone there for eternity, the human mind cannot begin to fathom what that would be like. You understand what I'm saying? And you know, many of us, we can't make up our mind, you know, this moment we're posting Bible verse on our status, gospel songs on our status, videos of us going to church on our status, and the next I post some dancehall song, and you a party or drink, like you're confused, you're lukewarm, you know, you're neither hot or cold. And you know, that's very problematic, because even in that moment the devil is not even going to trouble you. The devil say, man, go and post on status, man. But the moment you decide to make that 180-degree turn from the enemy, just expect attacks at the moment. So if you live in a lukewarm lifestyle, you know, you deceive yourself and you think it's a boy, my post, a couple scripture. That's nothing. It might as well you don't do that none at all, because it's not going to change anyone's perspective of you. And that's just the truth, especially a Christian. No Christian is going to be saying to themselves, wow, nah, you know, you come close to God. No. Because surely after that you see you're going to a party, nothing has changed, and I'm not going to be harsh on anybody to say that. I'm even expecting anybody to just come and just post YouTube videos and all these things, because it took me half a year to even start doing this. Alright? But just basically allowing God to change us, and God can't do that if you're constantly living in the world. You know, we as Christians, we're off the world. You know, better we live in the world, but we're not off the world, rather, my bad. You know, and I'll use an analogy with a whale. You know, because a whale lives in the ocean, but a whale is not off the ocean, you know, and majority of whales, when they actually die, they drown. So they live in the ocean, we live in the earth, but we're not off the world. You know, we as Christians are not supposed to represent the world is representing. When the world is going east, we're supposed to be going west. You know, it's natural for us as Christians to be going against the grain, which is how we face persecution, which is why people say, oh, you're lame and all these things. And you know what I mean? Because the world is saying this, the world is glorifying.